Sweet. There we go.
We are live with the Crowded Room podcast with Alex and Jay.
Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. I was through the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes really cold, running high.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Prince George, BC. It is 7:15. Thank you very much, Shay. Right on. We have a very special guest today. Oz, what's your last name?
Kia.
Kia.
Yeah.
Like the car.
Yeah, Kia.
Oz Kia. Pronounced Kia.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So is that a popular name in Iran?
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't think so.
No,
You've never met another Kia?
Oh, my dad changed his last name actually.
Oh.
So me, my brother, and my dad are the only one.
You, your brother, and your dad are the only ones. Okay. So, if you guys don't know, this is our friend Oz, born and raised in Iran, right?
Yeah.
What city? Tehran?
Tehran, yeah, capital.
Tehran. Really nice. And you lived there until your adult years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I moved out when I was 30
30.
years old.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you lived a whole life there, basically. Yeah. That's amazing. How old are you now?
Unfortunately, 37.
37.
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is my friend, and I never honestly knew either of those questions. Well, that's really nice.
Hey, we got Lonesome Lenny back.
Yeah. Oh,
We got
nice.
Shay Toes, got a
Right
couple
on.
new
We got our one
listeners.
follower,
Yeah.
and Shay's here to save the day.
Hit that like button, guys.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay. So Oz, thank you so much. Oh, this is the one I wanted to do. There we go.
So we thought interviewing Oz would be a great idea because the guy's been through some stuff.
Been through some
got quite the
stuff.
story, coming to Canada and everything. So yeah.
That's right. And Canada's kind of falling apart, it seems, these days, but you don't seem to be too worried about it as we are.
No, I don't.
No, not at all. Hey,
I'm optimistic.
that's good. That's good. That's one of us.
Yeah.
So tell us, Oz, what do you really think of the people in Canada today, like up at arms? We'll say the protesters in Canada today. Do you really have much of an opinion on it? Are you pro or con?
Well, I'm somewhere in middle.
You're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, coming from where you're coming from, right? You don't really have much sway either way. Then
I don't want to have a strong opinion about something, so I kind of can give it doubt in any opposition I
Right.
hold. Yeah, so I kind of want to just like it. Maybe I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong?
what?
So,
Yeah. Well, that's really nice to hear. Because yeah, it seems like it's going well on both sides. The Canadian protest sounds like the most civil protest you could imagine, right? And as a development, apparently, there's a lot of talks about Canada dropping a lot of mandates. At least that's what they're saying right now. So, I mean, hopefully, like you're saying, no one wants to step on any toes.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the main thing, especially as at one time you were a guest, now you're a permanent resident.
Yeah.
Of Canada, right?
Actually, I was permanent resident since the beginnings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Well, right on. So tell us, Oz, where does it all start?
I should add to
Yeah.
your last point that I have nothing. Like I kind of think like it. When I said I'm somewhere in the middle, don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against protesting. I think.
Yeah.
I don't have any. It's like it.
Both sides get to protest.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just because you are unhappy about the situation, you don't get to make up a stories to prove that point. Yeah.
No one gets to
And-
lie.
And when some people just in the other side of the spectrum make up a story, that's bad.
Yeah.
And people in this side do it, it's bad too. Just like I'm just saying, something is bad enough. You don't have to make a story to make it look worse.
Right. The two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah. So that's my point. That's sometimes.
Yeah, and nobody's innocent of biasm, really. Like nobody's so altruistic that their hands are clean in this, right? Well, maybe an immigrant is.
I don't think so. No. We all are like it. I'm one of those people who think we are all responsible about everything happening in this planet. So
Okay.
bad or good, and we can like do more about going toward good.
Yeah.
And every day, but just because not being educated or being ignorant sometimes it's like being dogmatic, it's like it stop you to be that person that you go toward, you help everyone go toward good.
Yeah.
So just like
Never give up your values just to be right.
exactly.
Right, yeah.
And you don't have to be even that right, like you just have to just think like am I absolutely I want to stand on my position, because I said it before to you, like what is feel like to be wrong, it's exactly to be right. If you hold a position, it's not that, like there is no light that it shows it's red, so I might be wrong.
Right.
You feel you are right,
You feel
and
you're
you
right.
always have to ask yourself, you try to
Am
update
I
yourself.
wrong?
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, and the point where you're not doing that, that's where you're becoming completely biased, and your opinion's really worthless at that point.
Yeah, definitely. So you go left enough to expect room, you're gonna hit veganism. So
you go too far left, it's
you're gonna-
extremism.
you're gonna
on both
hit
sides.
veganism, and everything is my side. So I'm always make that joke, but
yeah, no, definitely.
We got some action in the comment section here.
What do we got going on?
Looks like some people are pretty
Nice.
stoked on this. We've got Corey watching, got Davey, Lonesome Lenny.
Corey,
Cass.
is that your friend Corey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone in the chat section. Thank you so much for showing up. This is, once again, the Crowded Room podcast with Alex and Jer here interviewing, Woo! Interviewing our friend Oz here.
This crowd in here is wild.
Yeah. You guys got to calm down.
So Oz, I know you have a lot to tell us about Iran and what it's like growing up there. So I'd like to hear about that.
Maybe we should start at the beginning, though. Young Oz, what's it like in elementary school in Iran?
Everything starts from desert, and
born in the desert. You're like a Batman villain, yeah. So what's elementary school like in Iran? Is it similar to what we see here?
It's horrible. So
horrible.
When I said it's horrible, it means like it's really biased toward religion. So
right.
Like I never been in a school here, so I don't have any judgment.
I guess so, yeah. But I guess you might not have even seen a classroom, like been inside a school.
Definitely. I heard there are like a Catholic school and stuff like that.
But it's probably more like that. Hey?
Yeah, I don't know like how it's like how much biased is the teacher standard.
Right. Well, you can imagine a Catholic school is super biased, right? Like they want you to pray and read. Right. Like I don't know the extent to which you mean, like is it religious? Is it kind of militaristic? Is it
no, I can explain it.
Yeah,
actually. So
into the mic.
So sure. So the first fact is like it's like everything starts from there. You need to know that Iran is a country, maybe not just Iran, but if you're born there, they're gonna stomp you as like a Muslim. It's not your choice.
You don't have a choice. Okay.
For sure, there are like, I don't want to say 100%. If you are Baha'i or like if you are like a Catholic, maybe it's different for your kid. Right, but other than that, if your parents are Muslim, you're gonna be Muslim, and it's a stomp.
What if you're atheist? Is there many atheists?
There's not that option. So just so you know, there's like the message of Bertrand Russell and like a Spinoza, it didn't reach in Iran yet. So no one know, even people know there what is atheism, but you know what I'm saying? No one actually believe that it's gonna work.
Okay.
It's not a valid option there.
So
especially if you've been you're born Muslim.
It's more accepted to be Christian than atheist?
Definitely.
Okay. But it's still, is it looked down on to be Christian?
When you said accepted, let's put it in this way. In Islam point of view, I'm not talking about specifically Iranian people.
Yeah.
But in government, basically, if you're atheist, you are worth killing. Like,
right.
You know no.
So
That's a crime that you can just
Right.
lose your head over it.
but like an everyday student is subjected to Muslim kind of teachings.
So I can put it in this way. One thing
You're okay. Just make sure you into the mic.
one thing I want you to know that I grew up in Tehran. Tehran is a very
It's one of the biggest cities in the world, isn't it?
I guess I don't have accurate
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
information, but it's pretty big.
Mhm.
And so the thing about Tehran is like most of the people live in Iran are really ignorant about rest of Iran. So I'm talking
Right.
speaking about myself. I didn't see anywhere in Iran. Like I just see two more
Okay.
city like in over a week. So when you say like a or like a woman's are like a compulsive hijab, or you talking about like extreme stuff happening
Yeah,
to
yeah,
women
yeah.
and kids, most of the people in Tehran they don't see it. That's why
That's Tehran, though.
yeah
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
that's why they're gonna see us as no,
Yeah,
that's
your
not
experience,
happening.
no, right?
Yeah,
But and then you don't really know the rural,
yeah, you
the
go
rural
south enough,
outskirts,
you're
yeah.
gonna see things gonna get worse in Iran.
right? Tehran's northern Iran.
It's more toward north. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the reality. So
Yeah.
what I'm talking as a person who grew up in Tehran. So maybe other cities have other experience.
Right, and your experience is probably a little closer to a big city here.
More freedom,
Yeah.
more freedom. It's hard
Okay.
to control more population, like that's a
Right.
thing. But when you're a small community, it's easy to
It's easy to out the one guy who's not acting like everyone else.
definitely, yeah. So I can say like the horrible part of a school for me is like there are some courses that you have to take. It's not a choice,
Yeah.
and these are like about Islam. So it's
Say
about
that-
it's
oh,
about Islam.
About Islam, yeah.
Yeah, or it's about Quran or
What's Quran?
Quran. It's like a Quran you call
Oh,
it.
Quran.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, they're saying Alex, you're too loud.
I'm
But
too.
then they're
oh,
also
here we go.
asking us to turn the audio up. So
Turn the audio up.
how do we turn all the audio up? Just do that.
Oh no, I'm probably talking too close to my mic then,
Maybe.
or
But,
you guys are just too quiet. But I can turn my levels down.
Okay.
But no, that really helps. Thank you, because we didn't really have a test.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
You're audible. Yeah. Yeah.
You're very
No,
audible.
you're doing great. It's just I thought you said Quran.
Oh. Yeah, Quran.
So the Quran, that's the Islamic Bible, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it implemented in teachings in school? Not even just elementary, but like
Yeah, any actually I just like
into the microphone, please.
You would be into the mic more. It's your audio that's slow, I guess.
Okay.
So
So,
we've been
yeah,
told.
just
am I
make sure-
good right now?
yeah,
Yeah,
but just
that's
talk
really good.
directly into the tip of that.
Shoot, this little bit.
You're okay. But yeah, the Quran, how implemented is the Quran to the curriculum of school?
To be honest, like I never that much attention to any classroom or
Okay,
stuff
yeah.
like that, but I know they teach you about like a detail that what's going on, but it's like I don't know how accurate they are or like
Right.
how much what they so one thing you need to know, Iran don't in actually high school like it until university you are separated with girls, so girls have their own school
Oh,
and
wow.
guys have their own school. And this is I don't need to say what's the reason, probably you guess.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And they probably have their own style of learning about like being I don't know,
Yeah.
like about religion.
Cooking and cleaning.
Yeah, mans are
I'm
more
kidding.
unfortunately mans are like
Yeah.
in Islam is different. If
Well-
you're a woman, it's like you're being a slave.
From an outsider perspective, how long ago did they let women start going to school? Like or is that a Saudi kind of thing?
No, it's not, because so 40 years ago, around 40 something years ago,
Okay.
Iran was a monarchy.
Around the 70s, 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since then, so it's what things was like a more like a what
Like
do you
a
call it?
kingdom.
Yeah, it was kingdom, but also it was more modern. It was like you would go to Iran or Tehran, at least you
Yeah.
would feel like you are in Europe.
Okay.
Everything was normal. It wasn't a good city. It wasn't a good country. Like it was a bad monarchy. Like it's not his name was Shah, not like his name. We call King Shah. So Shah was like a dictator, you know, and he did lots of right thing and lots of wrong thing. But still, people didn't had freedom, but there wasn't like it wasn't like you have to have lots of religion baggage with you in order that people even accept you as a citizen, you know, as who you are.
Right.
But after that guy Khomeini, or I don't know you know that or not, but yeah, it's a guy that you don't want to know. This is this I don't know you know the story of
please tell us.
Salman Rushdie.
Please.
Salman Rushdie is a really huge British writer. He is originally from India, but he's a great writer. He's one of the amazing people in he's an amazing author, lots of best-selling and just Khomeini get really popular when he put a price on his head because he wrote a book called Satanic Verses, and it was in a story which Muslim people took it personal, and it's just like they didn't take it well. And Khomeini says like anyone kill this guy, he gonna go to heaven or something, you know. So he was trying to survive in British for a long time over like a very heavy
as a refugee, basically, or was he a British citizen?
He wasn't a refugee. No, he is a British citizen, but he was like under heavy support from like a secret government or something to keep him safe.
Asylum.
So that was the thing. That was
I never heard of that.
Most of the West people know Khomeini through that fatwa. They call it fatwa is something an imam say to. So it's like a word of God. You have to do it. You have to kill this guy. God said it.
Or you won't go to heaven, kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or you do go to heaven if you do it. So that guy come and everything's turned to.
And then it kind of suppresses information and education through because they don't want you to hear that kind of stuff.
Into the mic, Alex.
Sorry?
Into the mic.
Oh, sorry. But okay, so you just off track.
Sorry. I'm just paying attention to the audio here.
Anyways, so as you came up through high school there as well.
Yeah. So come back to the point I was making. So for instance, I remember like I was a kid. I basically born atheist. I never believed anything. And just like the biggest reason maybe I remember when I was like, I don't know, like maybe 12 or something, I got really interesting in some of the short books that it was in my dad's library.
Right.
And one of them was about evolution and Darwin theory of evolution. And I just read it and I thought like so I was so interesting like in it. And I thought like, why no one know that? In a school, no one ever talk about evolution to me. And that's a fact. You don't get that education in Iran.
Is it shunned or is it just kind of ignored?
I don't know. I didn't get any vote on it, but people kind of maybe have some guess that we are ancestor of monkeys, but no one really think it's an actual thing. And I said no one. I'm not talking about people, but at least in a school, no one admitted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't a popular.
It's like, not
like no percent.
But one of the funnest story I have to maybe show you give you a picture to see the thing. It's like I remember a guy they call it mullah, like those people, they have stuff in their head. They just like they are like really religion. They're like a priest or bishops.
Okay.
Of Islam. He was in our classroom and he was talking about like a next word. So he was like he started to say like so if you sleep.
Oh, the next world.
Yeah. So if you sleep, you're gonna go to sleep when you die, and someone gonna wake you up and just like blah blah blah. So what's going on the next world? And I start crying. I was a little kid.
You didn't like that.
And he just like said like what's going on? I said like I love sleeping. I always thought one day I'm gonna sleep and no one gonna wake me up. And right now you're telling me that you're gonna then when I die they're gonna wake me up as well.
Yeah. When is this?
I don't like it.
I'm going home.
Yeah. So since day I got labeled that I'm like an evil kid, or like everything starts because you do everything. It's gonna go to a list, and everyone for the rest of your life gonna see it in any school they send to you.
And you're saying about 12 years old.
Yeah, this thing happened before that actually. Yeah, but I just want. I was secular way before I read that Darwin book. It's like none of this is stuff. My family, like my mom,
You're just
and my
skeptic.
dad.
You were really skeptic.
I never brought up to it. Like my mom and dad never talk about the concept of God or anything.
Were they atheist?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But they wasn't like it. They were like a so-so. Like they were like, oh, okay, yeah, there is something like this, but I'm not gonna talk to my child about it. Yeah,
my mom was a lot like. She's like, we're not religious, we're spiritual, and it's like, oh, you're just trying to cover all your bases.
Yeah, but not even that. Like I never heard any term from my mom and dad as like a god or a spiritual or ghost or something like that. It's never. We were like really quiet family. Like
right.
We didn't talk that much, and I didn't raise to it. So I'm an example. If you don't doctrine anyone, they're gonna come up secular.
yeah. Even in that situation or in that environment. So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Just one brother.
One brother.
Yeah, 4 years older than me.
4 years older than you.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Is he still over there?
I guess he's in Tehran. Yes. Yeah.
You haven't spoke with him for a while.
For a while, like for years. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not in touch with my family, so
no, clearly not.
No, I'm not.
But as far as infrastructure, they have internet. They have everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
He have even Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Based on that, I know he's in Tehran.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Well, that's interesting. Wow.
All right, so Alex has kind of got to hog you here, so now I get to talk to you a little bit. And does my mic sound okay to you guys?
Yeah.
Can hear you just fine.
Obviously, I know you really well. We work together. We worked together a lot in the last how many years? 5, 6 years?
5 years.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah.
And so, I know a lot about you, and I'd like to hear you talk a little bit about your time in the military in Iran, because I know that it's mandatory there.
Yeah.
As soon as you get out of high school.
Yeah.
For a couple of years.
Yeah, since you're 18 or 19.
Yeah, okay.
You have to go unless you are in school or something. So they wait you to finish your school, then you join.
Is there any way out of that?
Sometimes, sometimes there is a way. Like even there are some period of time they said now you can buy it. Seems like it's about
you can pay for your way out.
So
really,
government seems like it's right now something like that's happening because probably government need money. So they said you can buy it for this much money.
Yeah. It's pretty corrupt.
When it was my time, wasn't. You couldn't buy, and even if you could, I didn't have the money.
Okay. So once you make it in there, do they cut your hair and stuff like you see on the movies? They line everyone up or shave everyone's head?
I just walk somewhere. I cut my own for first time, but then after that, they would cut it anytime.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
But it's a requirement.
Yeah, it is.
Bald head.
It is. But there is. It's now you get it. Back then you don't get it. Why you care? But it's so dirty. So just there is lots. Yeah.
Oh.
That help. I guess you survived.
Right.
It's really dirty.
Yeah. Apparently, you can get skin diseases if they don't clean and they shave that tight to your head. And you have 100 people coming through a line, right? You can get ringworm and stuff on your scalp.
Yeah.
If they don't clean the razors. Yeah.
I went with a month without shower. So
wow.
Yeah, it's happened. Yeah.
And did you regulate or did you just compound stink the whole time?
You don't care, I guess, that much. That's why
you yourself regulated with it. Yeah.
So day one, was it a shock to your system or
the military?
Yeah, when you first get in there,
so the one thing you should know, if you don't believe those bullshits, it's life is scary in Iran, for me,
No, we don't know.
It's yeah. You don't know.
When he says if you don't believe those bullshits, that he's talking about religion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't make myself
just
clear,
try to be as clear. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. But that's so there are two type of people as far I concern I see in military or even job or anything. So people they actually believe this stuff, so they fine with it, or people they don't buy it that much, but they don't care pretending. so they can pretend. They know how to pray. They know how to say Islamic thing,
Right.
and they just change the way they talk, and those people buy it. And so it's like, okay, this guy care about religion.
Right. Kind of
I'm-
like Corona now.
Oh yeah, I'm none of above. So I don't believe, and I hate to pretend it. Like I never be able to. I can't lie.
Especially that young, you feel like you're selling out almost, like you're giving up your values. Yeah, you're
Not just your value. I don't know. I never listened to school.
Right.
I don't. I can't even say really. It's hard to believe to most of people in Iran believe what I'm saying is truth, but I'm actually unable to speak any one sentence as in Quran or like a religion term.
Mhm.
Nothing. So
Okay.
and they're gonna figure it out really fast, you know.
Right.
even though they say like say this and I can't say it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that would make me really nervous. But the first day wasn't like that. The first day, which I never forget, it's like you're gonna go in. First day is the hardest day in military because what they want to do, they want to give you that much hard time. Then they leave you go home for one night. So if you want to run away, you run away right now.
Okay.
You don't stay there and use food or something, then run away.
Then run away.
Yeah. So the first
Okay.
day is horrible, and you
Did
just
you run away?
I didn't. I made it.
How long is required?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And you did the full 2 years?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Well, that's a lot more than a lot of Canadians can say. Like, I know it's actually more common than you think having required military service. I know Portugal and Korea do it.
It sounds scary. It's not the worst thing in the world in a lot of places, though. Like, especially, like, say they required it here.
Yeah.
The worst thing is you get a couple skills and they whoop
Well,
your ass into
and you
shape
get out
and
of it
give you
with a
some-
resume.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You become
Whereas
a valuable person to society.
We have a
and, like,
lot of kids that just sit in their parents' basement for those 2 years after high school and smoke weed.
But people hear like mandatory military and they think like, you know, that you're gonna go fight like child soldiers.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not
It's
what it
boot
is. They're
camp.
actually just
Yeah.
like turning you into an awesome person, and then if you want to stay, you stay. If not, whatever, you're set for life now. You're
Right.
set in a good direction.
And a lot of times those countries are so small that they don't have the numbers that we have just arbitrarily at all times kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Like they need a military.
They need a military, but just most of the countries, military is mandate to them. The age that they go is like at 30, like a 27.
Okay.
Kind of like you are mature, kind of. But as an 18 years old guy, you go to military, it's nothing look like your life,
Right.
It's just like even if there is a fight, like seriously, if a 30 years old guy appear in front of me,
You're 18.
the only way to fight with that guy is I blow myself up.
Like, yeah.
So other than there
You're
is
still
no.
not very, very good at fighting now.
But one thing actually Jer know about it. You want to say something, Jer?
Sorry, I've just been paying attention to the comments,
Mhm.
and it's just funny. Cassandra says this is called conscription.
Cool.
Everybody wants to know about the food, it seems.
I just want to add one thing then about military.
Yes.
Yeah, we won't end the military stuff.
We
yet,
don't want to
because-
hop back and forth
Yeah,
between
yeah. I
topics.
just like to
Sure.
take the questions as they come too, right?
Okay, ask it.
But they're asking what the food's like in Iran.
We have lots of rice, so every 2 or 3 times per day rice. So and they have kind of like I don't know, they just make chicken and stuff and add on it, yeah. But white rice, it's like a white basmati rice.
Yeah.
It's like it all day.
Is there a specific spice that you would say is Iranian?
I'm really bad.
Yeah.
at it,
Well, you
yeah.
haven't been there for a while too. Like, yeah.
I I have, but
have?
I've been in Iran,
In the last however many years?
Oh,
When was
no.
the last time you were there?
yeah, I wasn't there, but even if you ask someone, he been there 5
Oh,
years.
yeah,
If
yeah.
Jer go to Iran for 1 year, he
He'll
can answer
remember.
all of
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
questions. I never pay attention to food. Food never kept my attention.
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't ever a food guy.
For someone who eats that much food, you'd think that you'd pay more
Right.
attention to it.
Yeah.
So okay, to get back to the military though, Did they feed you well there?
No, but it's just like one small point I just said is so
Yep.
cool. But there is two military in Iran. So one is army, which left from our monarchy, so back then, and they
Yeah.
still exist, which I went through. But because like because they were worried that if this military do something in country, they create their own kind of military that you hear in news. It's like a religion military.
Mhm.
I forgot there is like a name for it even. Like I forgot like a um, mm, evolutionary guards of like a something, and they are like a religion. And right now they are in a list of terrorism groups.
Really?
So the way they choose which one you go in, it's like that they simply come and you sit there and says like, okay, this line go to army, this one go to the Revolutionary Guard. You know,
Right.
they send it
Right.
randomly.
Just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have any choice. They just come and says like how many people we want. Like this line go there and this line go there.
Jeez.
I was choose for army, but if I choose for the other one, I had 2 years working for like a terrorism like a army.
Yeah.
And just like
Yeah.
imagine if someone want to back check me like yeah, I was in
No more
for 2
flying.
years.
Yeah.
But lots of people are there and people are so happy to be there because they fed you really good. But army is so
Okay.
poor, and
Especially
just
rural
like,
guys, I bet.
Yeah.
Like people from the country probably.
yeah.
Yeah. They drive into Tehran every day for work, a lot of people. Yeah.
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 Just like the day population is different than
Right.
but just like they use like a train or like a car. Yeah.
Okay.
But my point was like at this I was lucky to be in army
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus the other
absolutely.
one.
yeah, versus the other one. Then I was like ashamed of 2 years of my life.
But they would be probably harder on you too, right? They'd probably make sure that you know how to pray a little more, stuff like that. You probably would have got beaten more.
Yeah.
Yes, probably.
You gonna go to Canada?
Yeah. So one thing in Iran, people say like every guy went 2 years in military. They have like a 24 years a story. So I'm not.
Well,
Right.
what would you say is your biggest story from the military? Like, what was the craziest thing that happened to you there?
The craziest thing I see when I was in actually, so there is a 3 months of period that they train you. So
3 months of what? Sorry.
3 months of a period, like a first 3 months is just practicing, just like a working.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
just like a
we'd call it like
team
boot camp or something.
Boot
Training.
camp,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then in that 3 months, they call you Soldier Zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone was
You are
Soldier
zero.
Zero,
Yeah,
yeah.
you are nothing. So basically, after that, you get rank or something like that. So based on how much capable you are. But those time is really hard.
Right.
And they sent me somewhere very like it's some people went to just like a fancy bases, like a bases that they
Military
are
bases, yeah.
military bases. They sent me to like a horrible one, and there were people there, and they would be so glad to be in army because they didn't had that fancy life in their own life, so they were
Right.
so poor and like
They were grateful.
Yeah, they were so grateful. Sorry.
That's nuts.
But yeah, so the one of the guy I see in military, he was like he was Christian.
Yeah.
And he got lots of bully, and eventually he shot himself, like very close to us, like just like to
Right.
blow his head out.
He was an Iranian Christian.
Yeah, he was Iranian, but he grew up in Christian family, and he killed himself.
Did he get bullied
Yeah, I
for
believe
being
so.
Christian? Yeah.
I don't think it was just because being Christian. It's
Right.
just it's also he was like a lighter skin, and
was
also
very
like,
different.
yeah, he was like a small like it, and that was like I don't want to say it in that say, but like probably he was sexually attractive. Some guys,
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's probably really looked down upon.
That's really
especially
bad.
at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah. Sorry,
No. This
Yeah.
is about you, bud.
I thought he wanted to say something.
Yeah.
No.
He can butt in if he wants to. Say
Yeah, he basically shot himself with like an AK something, like I forgot that gun name. AK-4 or something.
47.
Yeah,
Wow.
47. Yeah.
And so, like, did you know the person that was like bullying him? Did you see it go down? Like, did you see? Is that something you witnessed all the time?
Actually, it's affect me lots because he was exactly the next bed I would sleep on. There was like a double beds, like they were like someone was on top of you, and
Bunk
I was,
beds?
yeah, I was underneath, and he was next to me, and I knew he get bullied lots, but I was in that position
Yeah.
either, so I didn't know what to do. But eventually, when it's happened, I was like there for 2 and something months, and I couldn't deal with myself. Like I thought, like
You felt guilty?
yeah, I felt guilty because I was quiet about it. So one day when it's one of the craziest thing happened to me actually in army. So one day I was uh every night you have shift, like you have to stay watch something, like a building, a door or something, you protect it and you just hold a gun. And I was somewhere and I see him middle of the night, he went to washroom. So I follow him, that guy, and
You're talking about the guy who bullied
bully
your
him.
friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bullied
Okay.
my friend, and I just like it.
And this is after the fact. How
After.
long after the fact?
It was probably 2 nights after
2
that.
nights later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I locked the door behind myself. There was a chain. There was a huge door. You could pull it, and there was a chain there. So I locked it because they would lock the washroom every morning, so no one go hide in it. So they would try to
You have to go run.
not go to do morning exercise. So I locked it, and I remember I was
Behind the two of you.
I was beat this guy like as much as I could. I never bit anyone and I remember they were screaming that Oz, you're killing him. Then I understand I'm not in a good situation. I just
You weren't in a good headspace either. No, yeah.
Yes, and then I stopped it. So, but that was like it.
How old were you?
19.
19.
Yeah.
19, subjected to insane violence and abuse on a daily level. Yeah, I can understand. So that guy shot himself sitting in the bed right next to you, or what? Where?
No, we were actually we were in a what's happened that he was depressed for a while, and I knew why. But just they were trying to show us how to work with AK-47. You said you're right.
Out in the yard or at the range.
Yeah, it was in the place that we just they were a huge area that
shooting ranges.
Yeah, we would run around it in
Okay.
morning for an exercise. Then we use the same area to just practice some, I don't know, shit. And one of the things was they were showing us how to work with the gun.
Yeah.
And he asked him to come, and he just he got the gun a little bit wrong. He knew how to use it, but just he got it wrong, and just he started yelling at him why are you doing that? And just this guy
who started yelling?
The teacher, the guy
okay.
who was the
officer
us. Yeah, the officer. And just this guy couldn't take it anymore, and he just put the gun under this.
Wow.
He shot it with his finger like that, just
right there.
That's have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket? No, it's an American movie that sounds really similar to what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that might be traumatic, but that's really odd. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So-
Okay.
Went through the military.
Well, wait.
went through all
What
that.
happened to you? You got kicked out of the military for doing that?
Yeah.
So I've been told to be quiet about it. Actually, the officer.
You don't have to say anything. Yeah.
No, I back then they said
okay.
don't say it to anyone out of the and don't go out and talk about it.
So it wasn't so public.
Yeah. So, but the officer who talked about it was a really high rank guy. He just asked me to go there, and it was really scary. They basically handcuffed me, took me there, and says what's happened, and I said the story. But that guy was an asshole, but in the same time, he kind of understand me.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't that type of guy. He said, if that's what you're saying is truth, I'm going to help you, but you shouldn't talk about it at all. So they said, sure. So I didn't see that guy anymore. So day after that, they take him out. But I was lucky, yeah. That one just ended up good for me. I didn't, yeah.
They're probably happy that he took care of business for them then.
Yeah.
So but no
Wow.
one knew that. I seems like I was the only one. At least I was the only one have courage to say it. So
Yeah.
no one was willing to say something like that, and I said it.
Right. And this would have been like the early 2000s, probably around.
It's really hard to calculate,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was 19. I know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intense.
So intense.
So then you
Oh.
got to finish off your 2 years in the military. You graduated or an honorable discharge, I guess we'd say here.
Yeah, basically, when after 3 months, they just like I made the worst mistake I did in military, and just like one day they come and says, "Oh, we want to rank you, so higher rank, less work you're gonna do in
Mhm.
future." So, and they said we're gonna do some like a test on you, like a physical and like any kind of how much capable you are. Then we're gonna rank you. Then based on that rank, it show that what you're gonna do in future. So if you are like a low rank, you're gonna wash toilet, and if you're high rank, you're gonna be respected.
Right. Aptitude.
And it was 5,000 people there. So it was between 5,000 people, and they choose the first 100. I was number 11.
Okay.
I ran. I was. I ran. We were running, and we were like a shooting. We were like a fighting, and it's the stuff. So based on those stuff, they
Right.
would rank you. And I got really top rank, and they said like okay, so the first 100 we are correct for rest of them, but the first 100 we're gonna send them to a special training.
Yeah.
Which it was like a middle of nowhere, middle of desert, like basically, and it was a weird desert because I wasn't that much far from Tehran. But the funny part about it was like it was I don't know how to say it. It was hot during day.
Yep.
It was very cold in night,
Mhm.
and there wasn't any sand there. It was like a sharp rock everywhere,
Right.
and just like they were like, if you fall, you would cut yourself, something like that.
Like shale kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was there for three more months, and I signed a paper, if I'm not wrong, that if it's just like a wild animal attack us, they're not
It's
gonna.
not their fault.
No, it's like they're not gonna give us any insurance for it.
Oh.
So you can shoot them, but just like
Right.
if I'm not that, there was some wolf there. Something like
Desert wolves?
that. It wasn't desert. I said it was looked like desert to me. I never
okay.
actually.
It was probably
been
like a
there.
really high desert then, or something like in the mountains.
Everything was look desert to me, but there wasn't any sand. There was like a sharp stones all over.
Oh wow.
Like yeah.
Huh.
Crazy. Yeah, shale or whatever, right?
Something. So the rest of Iran is pretty much desert. Like I've never even seen pictures really. Like,
Iran have lots of desert, but I never been in any of them.
Right.
And yeah.
So I imagine like sand dunes, like you would see in the movies, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I know it's the hottest place in the on Earth is
Really?
in Iran. Yeah, in a desert called
Lut Desert.
Lut. Yeah, and you can Google it and you can see it. It's the hottest.
Yeah.
Even if it's in the child books, like my Landon, like one of the kids I lived with, he was showing me his books, and on those books it says like the hottest place on the Earth.
Okay.
It says like a Lut Desert
Wow.
in Iran. Yeah.
So even in the winter, it's pretty warm.
I never been there, but it's what they claim.
Right. Okay. That's just where you're stationed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
Well, our viewers think you're pretty badass.
Yeah.
Oz.
Well, that's a lot
Well,
more accomplished than any of us were at 19. I can tell you that.
Shay said, I never knew how close to death I was every time I hung out with
Yeah.
you, Oz.
Every
Thanks
time
for
you
not going
laugh at
Commando
us,
Rambo
he's
on
just
me.
side eyes you.
Says Chuck Norris is scared of Oz. Chuck Norris asked Oz permission to speak. Chuck Norris once tried to lift a box and couldn't. Oz lifted it with one finger. Epic.
That's amazing. This chat's going off, hey?
Oh, yeah. Well, Shay is anyways.
Thank you, Shay.
Thanks, Shay.
Shay and Cassandra still here. Lonesome
Yeah,
Lenny
yeah.
came back. Thank you,
Lonesome
Lenny.
came back. Fuck yeah. Lonesome Lenny's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
up.
Says men and women for two. Women are put in the military for 2 years as well.
No.
What about now? No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can pay to get out of it now, right? You said?
I couldn't. It was like an Instagram news. I don't know what's the source, how much source is.
But
good,
regardless, women aren't required
no,
to serve in the
Oh, I
military.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, women serve in all of their life in Iran. as like a
In the kitchen.
as second-hand citizen. No, they are not in kitchen, but they don't get any respect. They just the individual like me definitely respect them, but they don't get any respect from government or stuff like that.
Are they considered a citizen just the same? Like they're given citizenship and all that? Like
they on paper they are the same, but in reality,
right? But behind closed doors, like
not even behind the closed door. Sometime when you watch, you just watch enough like some YouTube video of Tehran police, and you're gonna stop watching. You're gonna say it's gonna affect me in a negative way, the way they beat girls just because they didn't wear a proper hijab,
especially in the rural areas.
Definitely. And just like it's like it's horrible. It's like it's unimaginable. Like that's the way they treat women.
I really hope it's different now that everyone has a camera in their pocket.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. Just like it's never different for them, because what they do is what they believe that is right. Yeah, probably people conscious raised, and just like
and that's how their parents were raised. That's how they raised them.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Like they'd have to have a government that actually cracks down on that shit, in order for it to even matter, right? That's what like I'm sure, like beating someone in the street isn't allowed, obviously, right? Like
they do that. Yeah, definitely.
It is allowed. Okay, wow.
Well, there you go. There you have it, folks. Don't go to Iran.
you just Google it, like
right. I bet there's videos.
Iranian. It's like an endless video of like dragging a girl from her hair, just pulling her on the floor and just like throwing her in the car to take her to just like she have to commit and sign some stuff to I'm gonna wear a proper hijab next time.
Holy.
Yeah, just like it's like, and no one can do anything. These people have gun, they can shoot you,
right?
Basically, people not like no one do anything. There are lots of like protest against government, but they're not gonna go that far because government don't mind to just like shoot everyone.
Yeah, well, I'm not wondering why you left. That's for sure. That's interesting though. That's nothing that we like. We probably hope for the best, but we wouldn't even imagine that it could be that bad. Like, and then, like I said, hopefully it's different these days. But
yeah,
probably.
But it's not like you need to understand that this is wrong idea for understanding something or even fix it. You have to have that experience.
Yeah,
that's sorry, but to my eyes, that's bullshit. Actually, my one of my close friend, we were talking to her. She's well educated. We talk about like a very serious topics, and she was saying like but I can't imagine what you went through, or like I can't imagine a woman in Iran what she went through.
That's why
and it's bad. And I don't know what to do. And just like it's just like this is like you or like that lady job to we help you guys, you can fight back. But I said I think that's wrong, because if I fight with my government, if I fight with anyone, it's going to be an emotional fight,
Right.
An emotional fight is not the necessary fight to get to
the
freedom
fight.
Yeah, we need some people that they just like I said this, and the process gets you to. We didn't develop any. We don't know in this planet how we get rid of theocracy. That's something we don't know it yet. We never learn. Like theocracy is something that's very complicated, and West and East they failed in a subject of controlling it or changing it. And because of that reason, the problem is anytime we do another revolution, it turned to theocracy or dictatorship again, or like anything that is not good.
Yeah.
So what we know is it must happen slowly, and like people like raise their conscience and they learn stuff, and start like the new world, or like a first world country ideas start to develop, and we understand what is finance, what is financial life. And those stuff get to in a long term to democracy.
A lot of these countries had to fight a civil war or a revolutionary war kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And those wars again turned to another nightmare. And that's what I'm saying. That was what I tried to say. A person who educates himself or herself about the subject of theocracy and Iran and anything else, who live in West all his life, can come up with a solution none of Iranian come up it. Those people are more likely to solve the puzzle. And the reason I'm saying it is like, just imagine when you are, it's like you need to be in pain in order to fix it. No, you should be a doctor. You should be
Right.
educated about that subject.
Right. And when you're rich, you go, why should I be a doctor? Like, what am I gonna need all this money for, kind of thing. But
kind of like that. I think this is like, all this stuff is not just like oh, you don't know, don't talk about, don't judge me. No, judge me, tell me. And just like that doesn't
Right.
matter. You don't need to go through that. Just that that suck, it's enough. And just like, what should I do about it? Anything you should do is nothing to do how you treat me. Just because I went through that thing, right now you have to filter yourself. Don't ask questions. Don't say this. Don't do that. Just because you might make me upset.
right.
That's bullshit. That doesn't do any good.
Right. But from our side, we might think, oh, I could offend you, kind of.
That's
like,
what I'm
I better
saying.
not step out of line. Yeah.
Before podcast start, you apologize like 5 times or 10 times. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's bad or good, but
right.
you guys are nice. But I know why you're doing that, because I see other Iranian, how much they are offended. Immediately you say something. You say like,
especially the loud ones.
Iran have desert, and they gonna get mad over it. So I think if you don't have patience to any kind of conversation, don't make friends.
And if you're not afraid, or if you're afraid to make someone mad, you're never going to get through a full thought.
Exactly.
You're going to tiptoe around the finer points, and we're just going to kind of pad everything.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Emotion is not a proper tool to get to the truth. That's the thing. Doesn't matter. That's like there is a book I read. I love that part. It says like, are you offended? So fucking what?
Yeah.
And I really love it.
And I mean, in a way, it's picking favoritism, because I would never be worried about offending Jer with any questioning, right? So then that's kind of a double standard.
Exactly. I love that.
I wonder if that's a hint of racism almost, right?
You also know it's differently.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that point, and that's a great point. Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
I think a little bit of it is like, I see you all the time. I see you all the. You're not worried about offending me either.
No.
You know, like, but you guys don't see each other all the time.
No,
so that probably has something to do with it.
That's true, but also there's a lot of people watching other than just us. Like, if it was a conversation at downstairs between me and him, it could be a lot different.
We don't see each other, but I really like him. We have lots of cool conversations.
Yeah, last time
it was really nice seeing you at my house last weekend.
Yeah, you guys had a great conversation.
Yeah,
that's what sparked all this, right?
Yeah. No, and I really appreciate coming over and actually putting this down, because for those of you that don't know, Oz is moving away in a couple weeks. On the 18th.
Yeah.
On the 18th, he's moving down to Kelowna, and so we just wanted to get this one in the books, just in case we don't actually get another chance. Yeah. But there's Skype, there's call-ins, there's lots of other opportunities.
Okay, well, you can call in one time, and we'll miss you too. You can call in. We'll put you on the podcast over the phone. That always works well. But yeah, so you're in the military for 2 years. Before we pass that subject, Dan wants to know how well you can fire a gun. I'm assuming it must be quite well.
I'm not a guy who work with lots of guns, but the guns I use with, I'm good at with working with them, especially because I said I was part of 100 people, so I got to work with guns more because I was like those people were really huge people, and they said like, okay, based on your size, you better to be on a back
shooting and fighting.
Yeah, it's never anything something like that happened, but I got to practice way more than other people at shooting. Yeah.
So were you a sniper kind of?
I work with the snipers too.
Long range?
What caliber weapons were you using?
It's like a really long time ago. Like
it's
just like Jeremy Delarm could enlighten us right now.
That was almost 20 years ago.
We need Jeremy Delarm here to tell us exactly what rifles you were using.
Yeah, but there was a girl here actually. She was like my it's a bigger story about how I get there, but one day she invited me at her house, and her dad was one of those gun people, and they were living in a village or like a countryside, and there were like a few people, not few, like 100 people there, and they were really enjoying shooting, and it was like a
Right.
very cool places. And we tried, and I hit a target, and he said never no one in this village
Nice.
never even like hit that. So I understand I still have some skills,
Yeah.
but but I tried 3 times to hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like very far. Like it was even hard to see through the lens. So
Right.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, that must have been in around 2000 or so. What did you do after the military?
So right before military, my mom passed away. So
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
life changed for me. Yeah, my mom
Right
died.
before military.
Not right before it, but I was 17 when she
Oh,
died.
okay, yeah.
And I joined military when I was 18.
Right.
Yeah. So my dad wasn't like a very a dad that I want to live with. We went through lots of problems. He was a rich man back then,
Right.
not specifically when my mom died, like before. I born in a rich family, but he was a guy that we never get to along with each other. We never know, and his job was like he never been home. Like when I was kid, my dad was like a 1 week per year, maybe, or 2 weeks per year.
He was home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you never
in
really got to develop
nursing,
a
yeah.
relationship with him.
Exactly. And I hate of smelling of smoking, and he was a heavy smoker, and
Yeah.
even we didn't hug each other. Like every time he hugged me, I feel like I want to cry or throw up. Like
As a kid?
yeah, as a kid
Yeah.
even. So and I said he wasn't a nice guy to my mom, or like he was beating my mom.
Oh,
He was
really?
like he was a madman. And so I never had like a very good relationship with him.
Mhm.
And after my mom died, he started to develop this like a bachelor life, like bring girls over, or drinking too much. And it's like you have kid, you want to just like change your behavior, or you want me to leave? And he
Mhm.
basically says you can leave. And I'm one of those people, when I say something, I really do it. And I left, and yeah, that was it.
That's the last time you saw your dad?
That wasn't the last time I
Okay.
saw my dad, but that's the last time I left with him.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And like he provided like he made a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Like you're in a really rich family, right?
Yeah.
And so like had you not done that and like stayed living with him, or stayed in his good books, you would have still been like rich to this day, probably, right?
I don't think so, because he lost his money after he
Oh, did
started
he?
those kind of life. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he kind of just drank it all away.
Not just that, but some people like betrayed him, like take his money and walk
Oh.
away and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not really in detail on that, but
Yeah.
what I know is like he's right now he's not that much a successful person. Yeah, or like even when after a few years after my mom died.
He's still alive in Tehran?
I assume he is live.
You
He's
assume,
I'm
yeah.
not sure he's in Tehran, but I guess he's in Tehran. But he tried to talk to me a few times.
Yeah.
I even gave him a chance like 5 years ago, like just for I don't know 5 minutes to see if he changed or something.
But he knows you're in Canada?
He knew I'm in
Yeah.
Canada, yeah, and just like and he just have it. That was the horrible 5 minutes of my life, and I never get it back. Like he was like basically saying, "You are a good guy because you have a good gene base of our family." So
He
that
just
was
wants
like,
to pat himself in the
Yeah.
back.
Like a dude,
if you're
what?
doing good, it's because of me.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
just go say this is stuff in front of mirror. Like, why are you talking
Yeah,
to
why
me?
bother calling me
Wow.
across the ocean?
Yeah. So that dude never gonna change. So
That's too bad.
So before we move on to the next thing,
Yeah, let's read some comments.
so just people saying, "Hey, good luck
Oh, thank you.
in Kelowna."
Yeah,
Um,
for your new job.
Corey, well, obviously we're already going to have a going away party for you. Corey just suggested it as well, and she said that she's willing to let us use her place for it. So, party at Corey's
you, Corey.
place.
To all of YouTube.
Yeah.
Today we got 9 listeners today. Wow.
Dude, it was at 10 and higher, man.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we're moving up.
And so the one last thing here, Corey's asking why you're moving to Kelowna. Obviously, we know kind of. Why don't you tell everybody?
Yeah, and I finally get the chance to work on my own field, which is IT industry, and a company called KF Aerospace, which is the largest commercial MRO company in Canada.
What's
which-
MRO?
MRO is maintain, repair, operation on planes.
Aircraft.
Yeah, aircrafts. And they wanted an IT guy, and I finally hire me, and
Wow.
just like I'm gonna go start my. I was
Working behind a computer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was 5 years away from that industry, so they're gonna develop some education and just like some courses and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So seems like they really like me for some reason, because I wouldn't hire me in that situation. But seems like they said your character is really close to our kind of like a team.
Mhm.
We like you, so we're gonna work with you. So thank you.
For you to go through all the hoops to immigrate over here, it shows that you're dedicated to being here and working.
Well, yeah, and you spent the last 5 years doing flooring with me
Yeah.
and on your own.
Yeah.
And like that's not what you were trained to do. You know, you went to school for something else. So it's cool that you're finally getting something in your own field.
Yeah, that was very actually. I'm not in that point with you. There are lots of immigrate. There are way more.
I just mean from
successful
their
than
point of
me.
view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for I don't consider myself like as a very successful person in Canada, but I was really successful in developing lots of good friends and just like
Right. Well, look at yourself compared to the people you left behind in Iran. Your success is measured in a lot of different ways. You're very determined.
that's true.
That's what I meant. They're looking at you as, hey, this guy wants to be here. He's working. He's gonna work hard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's why I'm going to Kelowna.
So I want you to tell a little story. It's a quick one. I won't say her name, but there was a girl that you were with, and her dad asked you how you came to this country, and you told him a story. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you don't have to say any names of who you're
Okay,
talking to,
yeah.
but I think it's a pretty funny story.
Yeah, so when so 6 years ago, I would barely speak English. Like I could just introduce myself and say some words. I still working on my English, but seems like I get improved. Thanks to you guys. So I just a few days after my landing in Canada, I just found a girlfriend. So basically,
Right.
a week maybe. She's one of my heroes. She saved my life. She's like I owe her lots, and yeah, but she's really extreme left. So
Right.
she's one of those people like it. I remember like she's a white girl and she
Yeah.
grew up in Prince George. I remember she wore hijab once walking out with me, and
Just-
it's like that's appropriate. Just like
She's like, I'm Oz's perfect little Persian girlfriend. She
it's just
told
like
me.
if I want that shit, I would.
This is cultural appropriation.
Yeah, that's fine.
But anyway, she would do horrible thing and she would point her finger at anyone that they are mean to you. You should understand it, and she was wrong. Anyway, one day she just like she had some friend that they would ask silly questions like immediately they see you like do you eat pork? Do you just have you blow yourself before or something? Blow up yourself. Sorry, that
you
was
blow
wrong.
up
Yeah.
yourself before.
Is
Yeah,
that
and I
like a
live to talk
bomb?
about it. Yeah.
But-
This close.
and or like if people ask you, are you where are you from? It's like I'm from Iran, and there's like Iraq. It's just like
Yeah.
there's a difference between these
don't-
two words. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
If I was from there, I would say it. I wouldn't lie. But I don't mind it. Like that's fine to me.
Yeah.
So she said that I want to introduce you to my dad, but you need to understand he's mile away from this stuff. He's just like the only picture he have from Middle East is like
On the news.
Yeah, wow, and boom, and
Yeah.
something like that. That's his view, and I hope you understand.
Oh yeah.
I just like no. She said that to me. I said sure. So I went there and and she said he's a really serious man. So just that. And he was really serious. And just like he said at the table, and just like he says, like, hey Ozzy, where are you from? I said, I'm from Iran. And he says, from Iraq. And I said, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
just
from
play
Iraq.
with it.
And he says, how so what's happened? I said, okay, so he said, how you get here? And just like I said,
Iran.
no, he was
I ran here.
he-
Yeah.
but he was still a stick in Iraq. He just thought like, I'm from Iraq.
Yeah.
And so I didn't resist. I said, sure, yeah, I'm from Iraq. And he said, how did you get here? And I said, like, okay, so the story is like that. I was really mad. I was like really mean. She said it, but I wasn't. I thought I'm ready for it, but I wasn't. so I said, yeah, so I was part of ISIS, and just like they send me to blow myself up, and just because those bombs these
Joke's
days,
on them.
yeah, those like these bombs made in China these days, they don't work properly. So I yell at this metro station and I push the button, and it didn't work. So I was so embarrassed.
It looks like
I come back.
In heaven.
I come back to Iraq, and they says like you are fucked. You better go work with enemy. We don't want you. So they sent me here, and he had
God doesn't want you in heaven.
He was like my girlfriend jaw was like a drop, and just like dad was like he was thinking like, am I awake, or like is he guy serious? And I wasn't laughing.
It's
I
like,
was so serious.
gun?
And then I was staring at him, and he started laughing so hard. And, after that,
I laughed so hard when he told me he said
fucking
that.
Chinese engineering, they don't work.
You just played his narrative so hard.
Fucking Chinese bombs. Don't
Goddamn
even blow
Chinese
up.
bomb.
Embarrass myself at the subway.
Yeah, everyone was looking at me. Anyway, but that was like a story. Yeah.
So now we know how you got to Canada.
What's up?
Did you come straight to Prince George?
No, Fort St. John, unfortunately.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I moved in Toronto for like a 6 month or something. Then Jer, actually the same girlfriend, she helped me too. She said like, if you come back to Prince George, I can get you a job, and it's better for you to live there. And Jer texted me and says like, you got the job, and just I came over and just I worked for him.
Right on.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
And then you've been in Prince George ever since.
Yeah.
And that's 5 years now?
5 years. Yeah.
5 years now. Right on. Well, that chapter's about to come to an end.
I know, it's sad. It's bittersweet, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, no better time to get the interview out of you then.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, let's see what these comments are getting at now.
Oh, wow. It's getting lit.
Yeah.
People were saying, Oz, that you have great English. Lenny was saying, wish you best in your new venture. Also said he has great composure and personality. He will progress in his job and profession. Davey, right on, Oz. Your English is more bubbly than the British.
Right on.
Dwayne is saying, hola, you beauties. Hey, what's up, Dwayne?
And that Lenny guy's actually our first real subscriber from Boston.
Yeah, he's or just south of Boston or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lonesome Lenny, our farthest away fan.
Yeah,
but he says that Oz could be a stand-up comedian.
You could. Honestly,
Yeah.
You do have really good English. Like I'm sure it's improved dramatically over 5 years. Yeah. Or did you study English?
No.
Okay, so you just kind of learned on the fly.
You should have seen our first day of work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some point that I couldn't make it through that girlfriend we were talking about.
Yeah.
She was like she tried to be supportive, but she was like getting really mad when I couldn't say a word or something. And just like she's cool, but we had lots of fights. So over in those fights, I learned really good English to defend myself. So just like, yeah, just like those was like, yeah. So I understand if you're mad, you're gonna be improved soon. So
Right.
yeah, but they help. Yeah, but then I start book, so I start reading books. So I finished my 28th book in English right now. So
How'd you-
start
how'd you
29th.
learn to read English?
I just did audiobook. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I listen to them. Yeah.
But you read English today, yes?
Yeah, I can read English.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Just taught
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah.
kind of.
Oh, it's just like I had a teacher for like
I'm sorry.
5 months or 6 months,
Right.
but nothing to nothing. It was just like what is A B C D and just
Right.
like I was really bad. Just so you
No,
know.
that's
Is that-
determination.
Is
That's
that the
good.
teacher that became your girlfriend?
Okay, let's not talk
Let's
about
not go
that.
into that
Yeah, that's why Oz could have learned more English. He just wasn't paying attention in class.
His mouth was busy.
Yeah. Oh, that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Oz needs 2 more beers before he talks
Before
about
he
that
gets into
one.
that
You
one.
know the beer there, Oz? How you doing?
He's blushing if you can't tell.
I can tell.
Okay, what's the next question?
Okay, so now that you're in Canada, right? What's your favorite thing? Like you said earlier, like freedom and stuff. But I mean, like, what do you like to do? Like what, like compared to like Iran? Like, what kind of hobbies can you have here that you couldn't have back home?
Time is the best one. Like I have time. Like
You have time.
Yeah, back then it's just like working like I don't know, like 9 or 10 hours per day, and just like the amount of like traffic
Commute.
traffic is insane. So there's like you have like 3 hours of traffic every day basically, and just like basically day is gone, and just like you get some day off and just like you hang out with people. But the reality is like the best thing I gain in Canada is like especially in Prince George, to be honest. I never get this chance in whole my life to be left alone by myself. So I always had something carry with me that I was responsible for
Mhm.
all of my life. Like I never had one single day I remember that I was totally by myself and not having any kind of responsibility, and not not having miserable life for the fault of others other than me. But Canada actually, especially last 3 years, it's changed everything, and I start to have time. I start to see world, and just like I see what's going on around me. Start to hanging out with people I like to hang out,
Mhm.
and no one is dependent on me, and just like I'm not responsible for anything but myself. And it's the first thing in my life happen, and I'm really happy for it. Even if I'm poor, I'm so happy. I don't mind that because I'm not responsible for anything.
Right. There's nothing held over your head.
Yeah.
More than
that
one
could go
type
wrong.
of freedom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like it's at least 8 years I was like hanging on to take care of my brother, like 8
Yeah.
years, and just like 3 years my dad actually,
And he's
himself.
older than you too, your brother.
Yeah, he's older than me, and just like it was horrible. And just
Mhm.
like I said, I never had a time. I said like when I was hanging out in Iran with people, like when I was going out with them, they would say, Oz, you are here in this cafe with me, but you're not here.
You're not present.
Yeah, because I was all the time on my phone. This is what's going on at trouble. There wasn't any 5 hours without a new trouble.
Mhm.
And just like and I never get to be calm and be relaxed. And I was like, I had lots of like always just like have lots of stress
Anxiety.
and anxiety and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I'm self-heal myself here, and just like I'm very happy a person right now. I'm just like I love life right now, and it's something I never had experienced before.
Hell yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hmm.
So, since you've been to Canada, what's the best food that you've eaten?
actually, it's so funny because one of the food I really like here is like a pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like
Barbecue?
yeah. I remember I was out for first time. I was out with Jer's dad at Earl's restaurant.
Yeah.
I ordered pork sandwich, and I was like biting it, and he asked me like, "Do you eat pork?" It was in my mouth. You want to
You
buy
know
it?
that's pork, right?
Oh my god! Are you sure you eat pork?
Your dad's like, you don't eat pork.
Checked.
You
What's
should've-
the next
You
question?
should have been like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Spit it out.
Why didn't you tell me there was pork?
We don't. I don't want to say the name, but he was saying something like that. Like, oh, I don't eat pork. But I eat bacon. So I eat pulled pork.
Yeah. Once you get out of the environment, you're like, well, it's cured. There's,
I don't eat pork, just
It's
ham and
smoked.
bacon.
But that's a
Salted.
wrong question for so many reasons because there is no pork in Iran. It's like you
Yeah.
never faced with it, so
Right.
you don't know you're gonna eat it or not.
What's a similar dish to an Iranian dish that you found around here? Is there anything? Oh, there's that Shiraz place.
Wasn't it
Is that-
saffron? Was it
It's-
saffron or
it's-
Shiraz? Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds really funny. Like the most Persian food I ever had in
Persian
Canada.
food?
Yeah,
There we go.
was like I had for a while. I had a friend. His name is Troy. He's not my friend anymore,
Mhm.
but he had a really lovely wife, and he invited me, and he made me one of the most traditional Persian food I ever seen. She's a white person. She's
Yeah.
like she grew up here, and just like
What was the dish called? Do you know?
it's kufta. Do you know
Kufta.
that?
No, that sounds familiar, but I
Sounds
couldn't
very
picture it.
familiar. I can't
Yeah, it's
think
like
of
a big meatball or something. But I said it's one of those things like you're gonna make it if you're a grandma in Iran.
Right,
You know?
right.
Even new
it. Are
Even
they,
generation.
are they
meatballs
like
don't really make
meatballs?
it.
Are they meatballs?
They are meat and other stuff like.
But it's like a ball, right?
Yeah, but it's big. It's not this much. It's big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Each of them is
It's
like,
like-
one meal.
There's that Greek dish like
Keftides.
keftedes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. I've just read it, so I don't even know how to
But
pronounce
but
it.
she
That's
made it really Persian style. And I was like,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
cool. I remember you were friends with the owners of that one restaurant. Is it
Yeah,
Saffron?
Mojgan, and she was great, but they left, so they're not
Oh,
here
okay.
anymore. Yeah.
Is it kebab? That's Turkish. It's not. That has nothing to do with Iran. Yeah, kebabs.
It is actually. Yeah.
It is Iranian?
It's like it's. I don't know the original is Iranian and Turkey, but we both have it.
Yeah.
How far is
it's-
Turkey from Iran?
They're neighbors, so.
Oh,
we have like yeah.
okay. There we go. Oh wow. So you're not very far from Europe at all. There.
No, we don't.
Just on the other side of Turkey.
yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
the other side
Yeah.
of the Turkey is like, but Turkey is a little wide, you know.
Plus, there's the sea and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey says, going away party for you with a bonfire and pulled pork sandwiches. Since that's your favorite thing,
Right on.
that's the idea. And guess what? I got a big fucking pork shoulder or pork something in my
Right
freezer
on.
just for pulled pork.
It's really
so
hard to
You
make.
could bring the
it's,
smoker out
it's,
there.
it's hard to make.
Yeah, I see people spend like I don't know 5 or 6 hours to cook it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's not that
It
hard.
does take a while, but you don't do it. It's not hard. You throw it in and you let it sit.
Yeah, you can almost do it in like a crock pot.
Yeah.
Kind of
so
just let it sit.
that's
there.
exactly how we do it. Yeah.
But it's really
we'll
good.
make it extra special just for you. You know what? Hey, why don't we have a pulled pork competition? Everybody bring your
No,
own pulled
thank you.
pork, and
But,
whoever has the best
um,
one, Oz will be the
Maybe
the-
a
the
what's it
judge.
called? Potluck. kind
yeah,
of thing,
definitely
yeah.
a potluck though. And originally we were gonna just have a going away party here, but like Corey's
Right.
place is pretty dope. We can have a fire out there. We can make as much noise as we want.
Hmm. Well, that's exactly 2 weeks from now. You're leaving.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's gonna have to be next weekend.
yeah, next weekend, like Saturday or something.
Right
Oh,
on.
same night as the fights.
I'm
Oh
okay
yeah,
with
there's
any
big
days,
fights
yeah.
that
Yeah,
night.
yeah. Let's watch the fights and
That's
we'll
the
make
Israel
food.
Adesanya.
Dude, nothing I like more than food and fights and
Yeah.
good times with friends. Hell yeah. Pulled
Yeah,
pork.
yeah.
It's
Black
gonna happen.
Beast,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tai Tuivasa, Derek Lewis.
Adesanya and Whitaker.
Yeah.
You guys got me
Or
the
no.
fighter stuff too, just so you know. It's like I really like enjoying watching it
Yeah?
right now, but I didn't had any clue that how it's. I never had a really good view about fights, so I just want to say thank you because
Right,
I really
well-
like it right now.
Coming from the military like that, it's probably traumatizing to watch people fight. and shit. You guys did a lot of hand-to-hand combat, didn't you, in the military?
Not
Is-
lots like
is
oh
that-
yeah, I don't know what's it's called. Lot.
Is that where Krav Maga comes from, Iran?
That's Israeli.
Israeli.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys would fight hand to hand. It would just kind of be like military boxing.
Yeah, so basically because there is no weight thing, so it's just like it wasn't any fight. They would just throw me like a ball everywhere. So they were like a big ass chair, and just like I couldn't do anything. Like yeah,
Right,
but so it's different to just like it. I don't know, but I found that like it being in actual, I have one good advantage in any situation that I face with. Like I'm so calm. It's like I like this thing about myself. I've been in a situation in my lots of situations, like it's hospital. My brother was like 14 days of month was in hospital. Like we had lots of issue with him. He was like it, and yes, I was the only one, and just like it. I've been told from doctors like how you can survive in this situation. I don't know. I was so calm. And it's like one thing I understand. Situation don't make me nervous usually, sometimes he make me nervous, but
I don't blame you.
I'm like, you better make that cut properly. Oz.
You're going back to
I'm fucking telling.
But that's a cool thing. But I see those people when they fight or anything, they just get really nervous and really angry.
Yeah.
And I'm not like that, so I like
well, you're born in the fire kind of thing.
No, I like one of the thing I love about UFC, which I challenge that anyone.
You were about to call it KFC.
KFC.
Yes,
I love KFC. Let me tell you the first thing. Goddamn popcorn chickens.
I don't know why I was thinking of this. Probably I'm hungry. Anyway, but I was in the UFC that I challenge anyone with any sense of morality do it. Like all of these priests and like imams that they said, oh, you need to be kind, you need to be nice to people.
Right.
I love these people fight to death and then they shake their hand, they hug each other.
And they never lose their morality.
Right. Yeah. It's like if you are in that situation and you are that nice, you're a really amazing person, I would say.
But there's some people that take it to a really dark primal place and they usually don't keep their job very long.
No, that's true.
Like a Paul Harris.
I saw one, he was from Middle East.
Oh, really?
Habib, like he got really angry at that McGregor guys.
Oh, Khabib.
Oh, Khabib. He's from Dagestan.
He says his name properly.
Khabib.
How do you say his name?
Habib.
Yeah.
Habib. There's one Iranian fighter, Musasi, isn't he from
Gegard?
Iran? Yeah.
Gegard Mousasi.
I believe so. I'm not too sure.
I don't think so.
Not sure. No, I don't think he's Iranian. No.
Okay.
But
It's from somewhere around there.
Not arguing that one. Okay.
You got me there.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have any information that I said about that topic. Probably there are fighters in Iran. I don't know anyone.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots, but a big name on the top of the bill kind of thing. I don't know. I know that guy is from somewhere around there. I'm not too sure.
But
you're not far.
You wouldn't think I have a phone right here. Could look it up.
Actually, one of the funniest thing that's come to my mind when you said that, just like I don't have any information about something, I'm gonna go ahead and says like I don't have the information, I don't know anything. But the second thing after religion really bothering me about Iran is the music. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, you were actually telling me about this earlier today or yesterday that you're saying the music there is terrible.
Oh my
God.
But the cinema's good.
Born Tehran, Iran. Sorry.
Really?
But he's
Gegard
Dutch.
Mousasi?
He fights out of the Dutch Netherlands or whatever, but born Tehran.
I'm just like wow.
He's a tough motherfucker.
There are some facts about Iran I understand after it came out. Like I was never imagined that Slayer had a show in Tehran. It was
that actually happens there. Just
you
once,
showed me in a video.
Oh, I remember we came across it, right?
Yeah. It was them or Manowar. No, it wasn't Manowar. It was like a Slayer. Yeah. And it was like, what? Yeah. They had the
you never heard of anything like that happening though before?
No, I never. I knew there are some underground thing, but not as big as a Slayer.
Yeah, like how anti-Christian they are.
Well, like we both know of Iranian metal bands, but like to have like Slayer come in with drums and like God hates us all this shit, and they didn't get stoned to death somehow.
Yeah, like a bloodline in Iran, like a singing that in Iran. But yeah, that was great. But I I genuinely never listen to Iranian music. Every Iranian I know, they are shocked that I don't know anyone of the singers, and I think we're wasting our time. We are just not talented enough about music. But oh my god, it's like every single Iranian I know, they love Iranian music, and they
Right.
just like
and as far as they're concerned, they're talented in Iranian music, right? Like for us to say they're not talented is really subjective.
Oh, but I'm saying it. They are not.
Oh, you're saying
I'm saying you don't say yeah. I'm saying it. They are not. They wait.
Gavel down.
It's just like I said, it's like they try to show you a stuff that is not even related. Just like they just think, oh look, like and this Iranian guy have like a huge show in Las Vegas or something. But like what is proof? Like they might be some people, they have lots of fans. But who cares? They are all Iranian.
Yeah.
But I said like
that's what I mean, subjective.
About movie industry, Iran is really good, and it's easy to prove. Like you can go to some like a very nice website and just see how artistic Iran's cinema is.
Right.
But you go to music industry, I can't say there is not. I'm quite sure there are singers in Iran that they are talented and they do a good job. But does that advertising, that kind of that the voice coming from Iranian when they describe Iranian music is horribly wrong. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. I never found any enjoyment in it. And since I was a kid, I listened to international music, and this was the first time I start to like Jer, and he started to like me back probably because I knew some bands that I never knew anyone know them. Even it's like a Tristania, like you listen to Orphanage.
When we first started working together, it was like this. There was like every day there'd be a band. It wasn't just like one moment, like all these. It's like just kept happening. Like this band too, and it's like. I don't know anyone else that listens to it either. And here's this guy comes from Iran, and like, the music is almost like frowned upon there more than it is here.
Well, that's just, I'm sure there's lots of really talented people, but it's just not a very fertile breeding ground for that talent to rise to the top. You notice you don't see a lot of great artists come out of really communist countries because they don't allow the artistic types to go. Like it's just a fact that most artistic people are gay. They're kind of like leftist people. And this country and America and stuff have kind of given them a breeding ground in the last 20, 30 years or so to become who they want to be. Whereas you're kind of shoved down into a hole they want you to fit into.
Any of these singers I know, if they start to sing like American music or Canadian music, I might like them. There is something about our language, which is not really, to me, it doesn't sound right. Like you don't listen and it's like, wow,
Okay.
And I kind of, I don't have any education about it, but I grow up listening music. It's one fact about me. Anytime I'm alone, I'm listening to music, even when I'm asleep. I never cut music in my life. I always listen to it. And I listen to classic music. I listen to pop music. I listen to... And I don't say like these like flashy pop stars have any kind of talent. They do have talent, but I'm not fans of them either.
Yeah.
But just like in this, I said like Iran can't have some musician. But in saying like I know lots of people, they basically grow up in Canada. They just born in Iran. That's it. They can't even speak Iranian language.
Right.
And just they listen. They always listen to Iranian music. I don't know what I said. It's more nationalistic. It's like it's more nationalism to me than be art. And that's what I think.
Yeah.
But no, I hate it. They start eating. They start singing. I'm just want to draw up.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I'm not represent Middle East guys. Like,
well, that's what do you think your dad would say when you ask him what's good music?
Those people listen to Iranian music.
That's a subjective experience.
That's a subjective experience, but it's lying to yourself. If you listen to some weird pop Iranian music, and he says, "Did you know this guy is better than Celine Dion or something?" I'm not talking Celine Dion. It's like it doesn't have a good reputation here.
No, but she's great at singing.
She's a great singer.
But it's like if you compare these two voices together and you think he's better or she's better, like you lost your mind. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't hear them. They said we have music and we like to listen to it. They said we have the best music. And just like they just
That's your problem.
my
with
friend
it.
here, he think like a Iranian rap is better than Western rap. Like it's just like what are you talking? You just it's
you took something and
it's so
turned it into
funny,
your
and
own
you
thing,
just say like play something and he can't play anything because he think too much. Then he understand none of them are as good.
right. And it's more of like how he feels than what he actually thinks.
I've got friends. Eminem's the best. You play anything else, they're like, "Well, this isn't as good as what Eminem's doing," and it's like, "Oh, so you can't listen to anything else?"
Right.
You know, it's like, what the fuck?
And the problem with saying good or bad is that's a subjective thing. That's like saying vanilla is the best flavor of ice cream. Like
Don't
to you, it's the best flavor of ice cream. Sure.
Yeah, but as long you keep it subjective, not like a claim it objective, like not like a claim it is the best. You can say Mozart is really good, and it's a right claim.
Yeah,
you know, but you can't.
If you're
say,
judging it on a classical,
you can't say like a Mehmet something is like a great without seeing any evidence.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So Cassandra says, artistic people are gay and leftist. Alex should run for prime minister.
Hey, it's just a sad, or I don't know what's sad, but it's something you have to acknowledge that you go look at LA, you look at all the creative types around the art scene and the singing world. Like, yeah, mainly they're all super liberal. If not, they're just like, you know, I don't want to say gay because that's a pretty blanket term to throw over everyone. But yeah, it's true. Like if you want to suppress all of the left-leaning people that don't see things your way, you're not going to get the best art. You're not going to get the true feelings coming through. You're going to get what you want them to feel.
Yeah. So conservatives, though, they don't produce art.
How many great conservative artists can you name off? And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know. I'm just seeing it.
I know one.
There we go. Let's see him draw.
I'm a conservative artist.
Let's see him draw.
You are artists, but I don't know about the other one.
I know they don't have to be gay, but they are like left leaning, right? Yeah.
Solid 10.
Solid 10. Oh,
says.
that's a fucking milestone.
Woo! 7 likes. Hey guys, if you're in this fucking podcast, smash that like button. It lets us know how many people are actually watching because this thing goes up and down like a horse pants.
Yeah.
Definitely smash that like button. Say something in the chat. A lot of you already are. Dwayne says he's gonna miss Oz. Corey says she's gonna be gone next weekend, so she can't do the party. So it looks like it's still at my house.
Yep.
And yeah, look at us shaking around.
It's my stand.
I know. We'll fix that next time.
If I
It's
put
all
it
good.
on here, maybe.
Yeah,
We'll
been an hour and a half.
have a
We still got
central
time.
table eventually, and it'll just sit right there.
Be a nice lab edge. We talked about it.
Oh, I forget that moves the camera.
What does?
When I move this, the computer that moves the camera.
I don't think it's that bad. No one's complained yet.
Okay.
Oh, we got 8 likes.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I have something to ask actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want you guys honestly tell me that which part of me is criticize me really honestly.
In what way?
Anyway, it's just my personality, who I am, the way I'm talking, anything.
You want a criticism?
Yeah, I want to see what would you change about me, or what is good about me?
Oh, absolutely nothing. I wouldn't change anything. But if I could tell you one part, it's some words you have trouble pronouncing. That's going to come with time.
But
there's nothing.
I mean about my personality as well.
That way you should have asked us that yesterday, and we could have came to the table with this. Yeah, because now we'll have to sit here and think.
When we're at work, and you're just you're like, let's just put it in. I'm like,
hey, it's okay.
I'm like, get back there and cut a new one. We're not putting this piece of shit in.
No, in real life, in just
in real life, work is just fantasy for this guy.
No, I mean not some. Work is something you have to be someone else to do that thing. Like if we don't go to work to be ourselves, we
Yeah,
go
that's
to
true.
work to be something that sometimes we are, sometimes
Yeah.
we are not. So it's something about me.
You know what? If I could change something for you, or something about you, I would change something for you to benefit you. I would make it so you're a morning person, so you can wake up a little easier, because I know you have a hard time. 9 o'clock, I pick him up 9 a.m. and he gets in
Right.
the truck today. He's like, if I could get rid of one thing, it'd be the morning.
Just turn the clock back.
Yeah.
Morning, guys.
No, absolutely nothing. I don't see why you should change either. Like if you notice something, then that's something that bothers
Oh.
you.
I'm asking this question because I don't want to ever in my life to limit myself to one community, or I really hate this thing
Yeah.
in extreme left that just like they try to separate people to just like a color, to just like anything they can find, like it's
Separate.
just separate them. I'm extremely against this idea, and I love to just be noticed as a person who can just anyone get along with. And I don't want to, I probably have bias, I am ignorant about some stuff, but sometimes you need help of other people to tell you. That's just like a look.
If there was a
like
blatant thing, I'd tell you for sure. Maybe not live on the air, but
I don't mind.
but no, nothing comes to mind.
Okay.
And
Oz and
I'm-
I, we have a lot of good conversations because we work together.
Yeah.
And
you have to,
especially,
or else it's
like,
going to be boring.
we're working just out of town a little bit, so it's like long drives to work too every day, and so we have a lot of discussion, especially when he gets in the truck. Hey, look at this video about the truckers, or something else, whatever, right? We'll have discussion about it, and we've changed each other's minds, because sometimes I'm like, hey, look at this, blah blah blah, then he's like, oh well, think of it like this. And I know there's been times I say something to him, and then a couple days later he's like, you actually changed my mind. I thought everyone I talked to said the same fucking thing. He's like, you're the first person to put it in that way, and I get it now. And it's like we do that to each other a lot.
Good.
So
Good. But yeah, no, like I said, success is measured in a lot of different ways. You're very determined. None of us are looking to go learn a new language and move to a new country just to start over at scratch and hope for the best. You are. Right. So that's a lot more than any of us could say. And I don't think that you're in the wrong direction. You're getting a great job, and you're getting rewarded for all this work you're putting in. And that is successful, right? Just because you don't have a Porsche or you don't have a house, it doesn't mean that you're any less than a person who does have that stuff.
It's gone to work for themselves with what I've taught
afterwards.
them.
Yeah.
And like that's something both of us can be proud of.
Yeah.
That's determination.
Hell yeah.
That's
an effort.
That's just like to take to your point. That's like the only reason you didn't do it because you didn't have to. So if you get to the point that you have to, you're going to do it.
Even if I do want to move, I'm looking to English countries to move to, because I don't want to learn a second language and stuff like
that. That's absolutely understandable, and I don't see any reason that it shouldn't. But I said, like, don't describe it. I don't think.
But it does mean
just because I born in Iran and I went through all of this stuff, I went through more than you guys went through, or anyone went through. I don't, because I kind of when I lost my mom, one of the things I learned that taking a toy from a kid can be as hard as me losing my mom. It's just depends who you are and what do you just like. What's your measurements?
Again, the subjective experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
It's not a competition. I understand it, but I never give myself credit just because I born in Iran and I went through lots of nightmare. Right now, I sit and I think I can advise people, or I can teach people something or anything. I'm not. I'm just a person that I barely can help myself, like it. And I'm that's enough for me. But I don't take this compliment that, oh, Oz, you make it, you great, like you did something that I couldn't do. No, you do. So you do fight, you go exercising, and just like I can't do those stuff.
That doesn't mean that either is better than the other. Yeah. But what I am saying is you are very accomplished. You are very determined.
You've been through a lot.
You could still be in Iran today.
Yeah.
You could have started drinking with your dad and partying. Right? You chose not to.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Yeah, that's very courageous, honorable. So that's nothing to hang your head about. That's great.
I take that.
There you go. That's all I was looking for.
We have a viewer comment. Oz, what did you know about Canada before you moved here?
Oh, that's
a good question.
That's a question that to be honest, I didn't know that much. One thing I should say that I generally read lots about like a European culture or what's going on here. I'm a good reader. I read lots of book about history, philosophy, science, and I'm genuinely really I easily can talk about history and just like I have general idea how West start to working and just like what is enlightenment and how get here. But if you think like I didn't knew even who is the prime minister or like I just knew there's a Vancouver and Toronto and that's it. And yeah,
all anybody knows about Canada.
Yeah, I just like I didn't. There are people they care like they just follow this stuff, but it wasn't me. Yeah, but I didn't know the same thing about the United States as well. Like I knew more than Canada about United States. Yeah. But one thing is always stood for me, like if we have those bad picture, everyone see that bad picture that they kill folks with like those like sea animals. I forgot their name. With just like with wood back then in just like the first company ever existing in Canada or something like that.
Hudson Bay.
Yeah.
When they killed beavers for pelts.
I knew about that story. That was the
Hey,
okay.
Remember that Iranian wrestler that they hung?
The Sheik.
Oh yeah.
The Iron Sheik. Did you ever hear him?
No.
Oh no, not the Iranian Sheik. Not that one.
He was a WWE
I don't know what is
wrestler.
that.
He was like a WWE wrestler back in the day.
Right?
Yeah, it seems like Iran have very good wrestler.
With like Hulk Hogan and like on TV.
Yeah, like the acting
not
stuff,
like
right?
Olympic wrestling, no. But I know
uh,
Iran actually has good wrestlers in the Olympics and stuff. Yeah.
They got rid of, literally like killed one of their best, right? Because he spoke out against the government.
Wow.
Am I right? I think you know a little bit more about.
He was in protest. So and then like they got him and just like they just so basically because I've been in situations, it's worked like that. They catch you in any protestant or any kind of activity against government. So they're gonna start talking to you. So you either gonna say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a stupid. I just like you say some stuff and you're gonna save yourself," or you're gonna say, "No, I believe that. Why are you doing that?" Like you just say those stuff. You are not. Yeah, they're gonna shut you down. So it was like him probably. So
what was his name?
Navid Afshari, I guess.
Yeah, Cass was just asking, and yeah, so he stood up for what he believed in, and the government executed him.
Yeah,
and
without even telling his lawyer.
Wow. And they could just legally.
They told him that they told their family that he's gonna be released tomorrow. Then day after that, they call him says we hanged him.
And there was people from all over the world, like even Dana White. Dana White was posted.
What year was this?
Like last year, the year
before?
before?
Oh my god, I was thinking this was like the 90s or something.
No, Trump even tweet about it. Trump said like, I know.
Big people were just like, hey, please don't do this. And Iran was like, nope, fucking kill this guy.
This is ringing a bell. Okay, yeah. And like there was a big protest and everything. And even in the States, there was a big protest. Yeah.
They tried to save the guy, but
yeah, I remember hearing about that in the UFC. Yeah,
because he was a good
fighter
wrestler.
Came on the mic afterwards. And
I actually followed him for like a year before any of that happened. I just had seen him the one time, and he just saw a couple of videos. I'm like, I'm gonna follow this guy, and a year later, he's getting like put up for execution.
Wow,
crazy.
Well,
shit.
I think today marked the first day of the Winter Olympics in Beijing. And if that's a big thing, Nancy Pelosi came out and said, I advise all athletes to just compete and not criticize because they can be ruthless. She literally said I'm worried about what they'll do to them or their family.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi
came out and said that. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, well, I wonder who's paying her paychecks kind of thing. But like, I wonder what they would do on that. Because like, I don't even know Iran as a horrible dictatorship kind of thing, but we know China as that.
I'm not sure. I don't know about China. That I know about China, but I don't want to claim that I'm not familiar. But one thing I can say that extreme left fail all of us in a subject of theocracy.
Right.
Like they criticize white people,
But
criticize anything they
theocracy
can.
is religious, yeah.
Theocracy is a dictatorship that's in a frame of
A
like
religion.
a religion. Yeah.
I don't think that China has much religion.
No,
They're
China.
more
No.
of just a
But
dictatorship.
Iran, though, that's
Yeah.
China is actually the first. Anyone who says, "Oh, God is in our blood," we all believe God, stuff
Right.
like that. China never had accept the concept of God, and they don't have any God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like it seems like Christianity reached there back then, and the king of that time, he was listening and says like, if there is a God, he would reveal himself to the great people of China, not in Middle East. So I'm not gonna buy that.
So clearly there's no God.
Yeah.
Have you seen this picture? No.
Yeah, not a place that people could read
He's
or
white
write.
with long hair.
Yeah. So I never accept that concept. But for instance, the huge movement of feminism, I had this thing that in my head, just imagine if you get really extreme in subject of I don't know, in subject of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
You basically never turn against it. It's really rare.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't.
It turns into
it's just
a one-way street.
Yeah, it's a one-way street, and just it's never turned itself to something that it's like, I think it's in long term it's not for Black community or brown community the way to separate people, which is not cool. But it's at least in theory they don't try to shut me down as a brown person because I say something about brown people. It's just like, you don't say it because you are white.
Can't.
Don't you dare.
Yeah.
Don't.
But feminism is actually in reverse. Feminism is right now is hugely in favor of Islam. They basically ignore.
No, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Every feminism, every real feminism in this planet right now live in Middle East basically, or they try to. People like Masih Alinejad, Ayaan Hirsi Ali, or these people. They are they put them their life FBI protect these people. These people gonna get killed in United States just because they speak out stop compulsive hijab, and you stop doing that.
Yeah.
And then you see the label of Islamophobia shut down these people. And just right now, a feminism girl in U.S. Parliament want to just make a new rule or law to shut down people like Ayaan Hirsi Ali or Masih Alinejad. They said these people, when they come and say no to hijab, they are Islamophobic.
Yeah.
And so they basically want to say, even I can't criticize Islam. Not you just can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it as well because I'm a hate speaker or something like that. And it's going to be a law. So they can put me in jail because saying that, you know.
And
the left eats itself.
The names that you were bringing up, those are people that are from Iran, are they not?
No, Ayaan Hirsi Ali is not from Iran.
But they're from Muslim countries. They grew up in Muslim countries and now they live in United States.
Right now, yeah.
And so these are people that are trying to fight the laws over there, right? Like the feminists he's talking about. And then he has these, there's people in the government here that are no, fuck that. You're not even allowed to criticize Islam here.
Just comparing this kind of feminism that you see here in compared to something Masih Alinejad does, it's a joke. Feminism here don't do anything, just nagging. But those people actually try to save lives, you know.
You like that one, Cassandra?
I concern myself as a feminism, and I'm trying to. But if Islam is an idea. It's not a race. Okay, it's an idea.
It's religion.
It's religion, but it's an idea also. Yeah. It's not a race, you know, but we treat them as a race.
Yeah, people get called racist for criticizing Islam.
They confuse it a lot with Israel and Judaism, where they do call them a race.
With any sense they make it, they got it wrong. The right way to say it, Islam is an idea that you can criticize it, okay, in liberal countries, okay? You should be able to speak against it, okay? And none of the word I'm saying is about Muslim as a people. I never gonna sit here and talk to you fine people and say Muslims are a bad people or something. Right. those people are victim of the idea of Islam. More extreme you see, these people are brainwashed on a subject like Islam.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
what to explain the difference between a Muslim person and an Islamic person?
That's the
I didn't
same.
say Islamic person. I said Islam. Islam is a name of it's a noun for calling like all this idea. So
Yeah.
Islam is the religion. Muslim.
Islam
if you
is
follow it, you're a
Christianity.
Muslim.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Explain that.
Islam is Christianity, like in translate. Islam.
It's the opposite
Yeah.
of Christianity.
Yeah, it's the
almost.
opposite
No,
of-
no. It's the name of the religion. That's what he's trying to say.
Okay.
Christianity is the
yeah.
name of that. Islam's the name of it.
Mhm.
And we call Christians, like the followers of Christianity, we call Muslims the followers of Islam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
So when you criticize Islam, you're criticizing, like he's trying to say he's not criticizing the people that follow the religion. They're just
So,
victims of it.
An individual Islamic person is a Muslim.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, if you know anything about females' right, like a woman's right, you need to understand nothing destroyed women's right more than religion. Nothing in this planet. No white
Oh,
people, no nothing in this planet.
Even Christianity about 500
Yeah.
years ago were
Oh,
burning.
yeah.
burning
Absolutely.
Apparently, they never burnt women at the stake. That's a
It
misconception.
still happened, though, I
But they
think.
killed women.
and I don't care how much fact you throw at me. And if you think Islam is a empowerment, and it's a tool to power women's,
Yeah.
you are bullshitting yourself. You fooling yourself as well.
Yeah.
And just like it, and I'm not gonna buy it. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like if a
Especially
woman's
for a guy
want
who
to
grew
come,
up there.
yeah, if
like-
a woman's want to come to Canada and United States, keep the religion, more than welcome. You are
Yeah.
just like I'm more than happy you keep that ideas. But if you walk around and says, like we see laws, like no, women are fine in Iran. I've been in Iran. I was happy in Iran. No, you lying. You betrayed your own sisters in Middle East. And that's something you shall not do. And yeah, so that's a topic that I think so.
Right.
Feminism is the new wave of feminism is actually turned against itself. So it's feminism right now. I'm arguing in United States, the entire in compared to countries like Middle East, it's the worst weapon right now in developed country against women in Middle East. So it's like if you want to see like what's the first enemy of women in
Right.
Middle East outside of the country, it's feminism in a new wave style.
right.
As you called it, another time we talked, post-feminism, right?
Yeah, but it's called like a third wave feminism, and just like there is like a few names. I don't care actually, but if you hold
Yeah.
that idea, like you are insane.
Okay. No, that makes sense. I mean, a lot of what they're saying doesn't make sense to us, but as people who grew up in Canada, we just nod and say, yeah, women need rights over there.
The average
thing,
of
yeah.
age of women in Afghanistan is 40 years. They die.
early.
It's a best place to Taliban is the best place you watch women die. And you say, if I say these people deserve to live better life, you think I'm gonna make offended someone here with hijab?
Right.
And I'm not gonna buy that.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm trying to say. And just like
Mm.
you just want to throw that at me because some benefit of
And
yours.
you don't hear the Muslim women speaking up as feminists. That might say
Well,
something.
They
You
do.
do just
Lots of
They
they
do.
shut them down.
Oh, the story doesn't get all the way over
Yeah.
here. There.
No,
and
even
he's
even
trying to
they are
say those
here.
are the real feminists too, right? Like,
Okay.
There are lots of religion women in United States, and they just talking against like it must be a choice.
Mhm.
You can't just like you can't. It's not right to just force a woman to wear hijab, and that these people get like a shut down.
Okay, that's what I mean. Yeah, you don't hear it
Yeah.
because they get shot down.
Yeah, in United States or Canada, in here, and that's crazy. That's crazy. It's just like I said, I know some of these people. I follow them, and I
Mhm.
know they go to the parliament to talk, and they shut them down. They kick them out. They said you can't be here.
Yeah.
It's like you talking about women's right. Who is more qualified than me? I'm a woman.
Mm.
I'm from Middle East. Went through this shit, and I know what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna take that clip out of context and show
and
people.
post it online. Yeah.
Just that one clip. I'm a woman.
What do we got here?
Shay says, "Way to go, buddy. We will miss you, but congrats." And Cassandra's pissed. We're making fun of feminism.
Mhm.
She's not going to talk to us anymore, I don't think.
That's okay. Just make dinner.
But yeah, we had 10. It said 10 viewers. Not that that matters. It's always wrong. But 10 viewers, 12 likes. Damn, that's
nice.
That was a new record.
Just to correct myself, because I like Cassandra too much, and because I'm not talking about any these last wave of feminism aren't they don't advocate for actual feminism in this planet. So actual feminism can exist to anyone's heart. But
It's almost just anti-establishmentism. Like they want to watch this world burn because it's not. They don't fit in.
Cass, do you want to watch the world burn because
Stop
you don't fit in?
associating her with that. She's not a hardcore feminist. But it's almost like the loudest ones that you hear on.
Oh, do you want water?
sure.
Oh, yeah, that's some good
Thank
service
you.
there.
Thank you so much.
And Cassandra's a huge feminist, by the way. So look at her laughing away.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yes. So that's my view.
Right. I mean the blue-haired loud ones that you see on the
That's
news.
not Cassandra. No.
That's those ones almost just want to watch the society burn because they don't fit in.
Shay's like, who was that?
Yeah, that
We're
was
getting
our
the comments.
producer.
We're getting the comments like almost right away this time. Like
Okay,
that
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
like
yeah. No.
Jamie, pull up that replay.
Mhm.
Yeah, Davey is our Jamie.
Davey's the
And
producer.
we didn't even ask him to do that. He just came up to give us some water because he's that good of a guy. Shout out to Davey.
Actually, I'm good. I'm gonna go stick
Yeah.
with my water.
Awesome. So we've had you here for about 2 hours now.
Yeah.
We've gone over some awesome shit. You've not just given us, but everybody else, like your life story and a bunch of really cool insight on what living in Iran's like. Is there anything else that you'd like to go over? Or like
Anything you'd like to ask us?
Yeah, sure. You can turn it around on us if you want.
Oh, I just generally, I do like to think what you guys think, but I'm not sure that it's gonna be enough for like it. I'm not sure that you guys have any strong opinion right away, but I do want to know what you guys think about what I said generally.
Which part of what you said?
Yeah, you said a
Everything?
lot.
Most of my ideas, because the opinion about my life is like it's not much useful opinion. It's past, but about my idea, the way I think.
Well, as you know, like obviously we get along really well because we have a lot of the same opinions on things, and even when we differ, we're not that far
No,
off.
I think it's
so.
valid. If I had anything against what you think, I would have brought it up in the moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Instead of bringing it back up later.
Yeah.
And I feel like we did. I feel like I did interject when I did have a question to ask you.
Absolutely.
I don't see anything against the norm. You're very outspoken. You're very value oriented, and it came across really well.
oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, I think this is really productive.
Shay says, I think you should be on Joe Rogan, not these two bums first
Yeah.
podcast.
Hey
They
Shay, where's
they-
your podcast, bro?
He says they landed a whale. You guys peaked for the first one. Well, that's
Yeah,
where
it's
you're
all
on, Shay. This
downhill
is
from
not our
here.
first one. This is our third one, and
What
they
did
keep
we-
getting bigger and bigger.
What did we name this one?
So, I called it the Crowded Room Podcast.
We got to start numbering
Episode
these.
Oz or something
Episode
stupid
Oz,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
because last one was episode X.
We just got to put like a colon and then his name or something. But yeah, we got to start numbering these.
Hell yeah. Cass says she agrees with Lenny and that you should get into stand-up comedy. So
Yeah.
eventually we got to get you down to Kill Tony. You know, you got to sign up on
Yeah,
there and do some stand-up.
You have a lot of life experience, and that's the number one thing that people can relate to on here is they can learn something from you.
Or at least a
Yeah,
different perspective. On
a different
things, right?
perspective that they've never seen.
Yeah, man.
Just like the one thing I would like to add to that just I want you to understand. I want you to be cautious about what I'm trying to say. Actually, I'm not just like it's saying it. I don't represent the view of my own region.
No,
So
we know
the
that.
geography
yeah.
I born in, most it's like there is a fun joke like it says like oh, you don't like your family, yeah, I'm gonna find a new family. It's just
Right.
like you are not blown here, you should leave this country. If you think like that, you don't
Yeah.
imagine how many time I heard like you think like
The
that,
fact
you
that
go
you're
somewhere
here
else.
shows
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna find a new country. And even here there are lots of community, there are Iranian community, but I never get along with them, and just like I found my own community, and it's just like I'm not looking for any it's I'm a blind race guy. Like I don't see race, I don't
Yeah.
see anything. I don't hang out with you guys because you guys are white, or like the other friends, like I'm not looking for that.
Yeah.
All I'm looking for is people that uh, they just hear you.
Mhm.
They listen to you, actually, not like in their head. They listen to you, then they say what they want to say, and you listen to them. And just like you need to understand that's not a part that most of the conversation is a problem that we have in this planet. People can't talk,
People can't listen
And-
either.
and they can't communicate. And we have it's not my word, it's Sam Harris word. We have two choice: conversation or violence.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to choose?
And that's coming to a head here in Canada pretty quick.
And the only thing is make me sad about West world right now. It's like why we just like make more reason to people not talk.
Mhm.
And I can't get that part. I feel like we have to start a conversation, but most of people that they from where I from, they are not ready for that. They just like
No.
you can't sit here and start talking to them, because they even me immediately I had hardcore conversation with some Iranian here, just like about simple thing that they don't know anything about. And my ask is, pretending you know thing you do not know, not gonna get you anywhere. You do. And it's a bloodline of religion, Marxism, and dogmatic belief that you ever see. They just like they want to pretend they know thing they do not know.
Yeah.
Simply.
It's hard. It's rare enough to find those people here in Canada, but to
It's-
find someone like that that has the life experience that you had, make it is the reason that you're such a valuable guest, and that people actually want to listen to what you have to say. And I wholeheartedly back the proposition of you writing a book one day and publishing it and getting your story out there, because who knows, man? Like we said, you're moving soon, so we need to get your story down now. But no one knows what the future holds.
The story's not finished yet, too.
The
Yeah.
story's not finished, and there's a lot left on the table to tell, I'm sure, that you never got to today.
Yeah.
As you,
Yeah.
as you said, you don't speak for your country or people from your
And
country.
no one assumes you do.
And I know, but I was going to say that's what makes you so interesting, because if we wanted to know what they thought, we could just look that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't, we want to hear from the unique people, the people that go against the grain, the people that do their own thing. And
That's true.
so, you live quite a different life than most people that grew up in Iran. So.
Definitely. It's just like the other point that it's made is like most of the thing I want to tell you that I get challenged for this idea. It's not like just because you guys sit here and don't challenge me that much, I'm just gonna pull up out of my ass and just like that's just I got challenged, and I always have answer, and I at the end I understand what they claiming is based on nothing. It's just like a pretending that I do
That's
things
right.
that I don't know, and just like and I don't understand it why you should put yourself in those situations.
Not everybody holds their values so true to themselves. A lot of people will sell out for what's easy, take the path of least resistance kind of thing, right?
That's definitely
Absolutely.
true.
And they're not very determined, and they're not going to end up where you're ending up kind of thing. They're not going to get the jobs that you get. That's
Sometimes
hold your head high. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
and
man.
your story's not done yet. This is amazing. That was a really good
Yeah.
podcast, Oz.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Even the guy that we've been working for, he's an older fellow.
Yeah.
And he might be watching right now. Hey, shout out Meg. But if he is, he heard that we're doing this. He's like, oh, like, send me a link.
Interesting.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'll,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Cause he's known us for 2 weeks now,
Right.
just from being on the job. And you could tell he's just like, he wants to know more. Cause
Yeah.
at the end of every day, we have a conversation like this. He finds a little shred of him out.
And just
or finds another shred.
these 10 people are on now. Just those people, that doesn't matter. This is going out onto the internet permanently.
Okay.
And anyone that is interested can come check this out and finally hear
yeah.
your story to the extent that you let us know. And I hope you come back and continue it.
Fuck yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much,
That's what's
guys.
up.
Thank
And
you,
thank you
Oz.
so much for coming on the podcast.
bro.
Yeah.
I think we're all ready to.
Yeah.
So-
You really did us a favor here.
Yeah, man. And let's do a little cheers. Do you have a drink there?
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening.
And cheers to
the Crowded
the
Room
best crowd.
podcast.
Oh, we're at 11.
11 people. Sorry,
Hey,
but we're
hit that
just shutting her
fucking
down
like
now.
button. Thank you, Shay. Thank
Yeah.
you, Cass. Thank you, everyone who is vocal tonight. Love
Yeah.
hearing from you guys. It makes it that much cooler. Corey's still here, man.
Sorry we couldn't
It's
get
crazy
to the
that you guys
chat
stuck
too
around for
much
2
today.
hours. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's all Oslo, obviously.
Yeah, well, clearly.
They're here for you, Oz.
You got an
Straight up.
outro? You got an outro to play, or you want to just hit
Do we have an outro to play? We're gonna go with the stock outro
button.
today. Let Alex fucking lead
Ladies
us
and
off. Lead us out of here.
this has been the Crowded Room podcast from Prince George, British Columbia. I am Alex. This is Jer with our guest, Oz Kia,
Yeah. signing
signing off.
Hell yeah. Let's get that music going. Where's that crowd? We got such a good crowd. There we go. Hey. Love you guys.